Good morning, people. It's your man Patron back in the cut. I think it's been like almost a month since I made a video, guys, and the reason is I've been working, hustling, working on myself and making daily cash every single day. So if you've been a loyal subscriber from the very beginning, welcome back, guys. So what I'm gonna be talking about in this video is my confession as a failing entrepreneur, and I'm making this video because it is time for a decision. Now, the reason I'm making this is because I could potentially be connecting with you, and maybe you might relate with me when it comes to some of the points I'm going to be talking about here. So I've been in the entrepreneur space now for about 4.5 years, going on 5 years. I am about to turn 24 tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be my birthday, so I'm excited for that. But I originally started when I was 19 years old, about 19 and a half years old. And that's when I got started with my entrepreneur journey. So the way I want to take this video is this. I want to tell you why I believe I have been failing. Now, you might be looking at my Instagram, you might see I've been making money, and I have made money, but to me, success is something where it's sustained. It's sustained success, not just 1 month, not just 6 months or something like that. It is a sustained success where you're providing value to the marketplace. And that's where I define success. And I would say that I have been failing, right? I have been failing when it comes to that. Now, one of the things that I want to be talking about is one of my biggest problems, right? I have a couple big problems here that I'm going to be sharing with you here. And I'm going to be sharing exactly how I'm going to be changing this and where I'm going to be taking my business, this channel, and everything moving forward. And maybe you guys can get a couple things from here, and maybe you can relate, and maybe you can make these changes with me moving forward. So one of my biggest problems as an entrepreneur over the last almost 5 years is I have jumped from business to business to business, right? When I was 19 years old, I used to do financial services with a company called Primerica, which is similar to network marketing. I would go out, recruit people, I would get commissions off of the life insurance that they sold. And I completely loved that company. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am today. That business got me developing, reading, using my mind, and essentially that is where I'm at today. It's just developing myself. Those put the right character, the right traits into me moving forward. So I did that for about 2.5 years, and even though I won a lot of awards, I recruited a lot of people, I wasn't making money. So eventually I had to leave. Now you're gonna start noticing a habit here, right? I had to leave because I wasn't making money. All right, the next business after that, after I left Primerica, I was there for 2.5 years. I was so sure that this was the business for me. This was gonna be it. This is where I was gonna plant my seed and make my millions, right? But after a while, I wasn't making money. I had to leave. And during that phase of when I left, I was in a state of disillusion. I was in a state of not knowing where to go, what to do, who to be, and I was just lost, right? I went from a state of being completely sure where I was to lost, right? And you can see that if you look back at my YouTube history, you can see all the different businesses that I did, right? YouTube has probably been the only consistent thing that I've stuck with over the last couple years. In 2017, I went to Amazon FBA, launched a product, failed, right? I put my last amount of savings, my last $2,000 into a product which ended up failing, right? And I had no more money to go out and launch another product. So I had to either go get a job, which wasn't gonna happen, or go to a different business model that didn't quite require so much cash up front. So that was like a 3 to 6 month phase where I was doing Amazon FBA. After Amazon FBA, I heard about affiliate marketing. I did affiliate marketing, put a couple YouTube videos out, didn't see immediate cash. I needed to make cash to pay my bills. So I went to something else. I went and did Shopify, right? I did Shopify for about 2 or 3 months and realized, yo, you need money for ads. I need to make income. So after about 2 or 3 months of learning Shopify, I went and did something else, right? You can see how there's a consistent pattern of not making income, which made me go to a different business model, right? So after about, maybe 6 months it was a year. After about a year after leaving Primerica, which is the company that I knew exactly what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be, I had to go get a job because I ran out of cash, right? And I worked at CarMax. I think you can see that in some of my past videos. I worked at CarMax for like 3 months and I completely hated it. It wasn't for me. I knew a job wasn't for me. And that's where I actually moved out to Miami. So for those of you that came from my Miami video when I first moved to Miami, guys, that was that phase of my life where I was like, you know what? It's not a job that I'm looking for. I want a business. And I knew exactly what I didn't want, but I knew what I wanted. So that's when I took that trip to Miami. And where my real first success came from with social media marketing back in 2018, where I got up to, I would say, average about $3,500 a month. You know, some months I would make less, some months I would make $7K in a month, but I would say average about $3,500 a month, right? And now this is gonna go into my second problem, right? The second problem that I realized as I started developing as a failing entrepreneur was I would earn some money and then I would stop developing my skills in order to improve that business model, all right? For example, with social media marketing, my first 2 weeks I started making $2,500 a month, and it started going up from there. To about 4 months later, with my business partner, we were bringing in about $7,500 a month, all right? And so I was producing income. I was able to, get myself, I got myself I was renting a room, I had a car, everything was paid for, I had cash. But I stopped developing my skills, and this isn't a problem that maybe if you're a struggling entrepreneur, this is what you might be going through. As a struggling entrepreneur, I would make money, but then I would go, blow it. I wouldn't develop, I wasn't reading, I wasn't developing the skills, like I wasn't learning how to run better Facebook ads. I wasn't investing in courses. I wasn't investing in myself. And it started reflecting after about a year, right? I would party, I was going to clubs, I was just meeting girls, I was just completely distracted, to the point where because I was distracted, because I wasn't developing myself, I ran out of income once more because I got to a certain plateau. I was stuck at a certain plateau. I didn't know how to get, more clients. I was doing door to door. I wasn't developing my skills. So after, in the month of September 2018, I made $7,500, $7,800. To December, I was making less than $1,000 living in my car because I didn't save any money. And so how did I go from $7,800 in 1 month, my best month ever, to a couple months later, I have no money saved, earning less than $1,000 a month, sleeping in my car. I slept in my car for 4 months, right? And this is just a reflection to see, like, yo, if you're not developing your skills and whatever business that you're in, you're gonna fail. And I was just reading a book right now, The Science of Getting Rich. It's not the business that's gonna get you rich. It's not the business. And this is one of the problems why I'm making this video. I always thought, oh, it's gonna be Amazon FBA. Oh, it's gonna be Shopify. Oh, it's gonna be affiliate marketing. Oh, it's gonna be social media marketing. Oh, it's gonna be consulting. Oh, it's gonna be Amazon dropshipping, right? All these different businesses. But the underlying layer between all of these here was me. I was the one that was failing. It wasn't the business model. It was me that was failing. And I read this in the book right now, The Science of Getting Rich. It's not which business that's gonna get you rich. It's the way in which you do that business is gonna get you rich. And it's the way you think about it, right? Because thoughts lead to action. So if you think about a business or whatever it is, if you think about something in a certain way, it will lead to certain actions that will produce results for you, results in that business. It doesn't matter. You can have success in Shopify, whatever. Any of the 7 businesses that I tried, I could have had success in if I thought the right way. Because if I thought the right way about the business model, I would act in a certain way that would produce the results that I wanted. But I didn't, right? Which is why I'm making this video here. So I would stop developing myself and eventually run out of cash. So I went from social media marketing for about 10 months, made, probably $50,000 in the 9 months, to boom, running out of income, right? And that's actually when I started traveling, because I was like, I'm making $1,000 a month. Like, it would go longer in a different country, why I went to Puerto Rico. Eventually get comfortable, and that was my biggest problem. I would get distracted at a certain income. And I think because I just came from a Bob Proctor event, I think it came down to my paradigm, right? And you're gonna hear me start talking about this a little bit more, right? It's my paradigm. What's a paradigm? A paradigm is multiplicity, is a multiple habits that creates your actions, right? You do things in a certain way habitually. People are habitual, right? And your paradigm is a group of those habits which form the way in which you live your life. And so my paradigm was, I would earn 3K a month, get comfortable, or 5K a month, and I would average. 1 month I'd make 1,000 or 2,000. The next month I would make 5, 6, 7,000. But it would average out to the same. And what I started noticing as I reflect back over the last 5 years is I had a paradigm that was at about $3,500 a month. I would get to about $3,500 a month an average, right? And to the point where I wasn't developing myself and swindled down. So ultimately, the reason I stopped all those businesses was lack of cash flow, right? Oh yeah, you can even see it right here from Grant Cardone, right? The shirt says cash flow. Without cash flow in the business, whatever it is, it was a hobby. If without cash flow, it was a hobby. And any business I ever started, I typically made money when first starting. When I was doing Expert Course Secrets, I launched it, made $13,000 my first week, but then boom, 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 it swindled down. And this cash flow stopped after 5 or 6 months, to the point where it's like, I need to make cash. I got bills. I got to do something to produce cash, right? And this is my reflection to you guys to see some of the things that I did wrong. So now that I realized that this defect in my paradigm, right, with my multitude of habits, right, my habit of not improving myself once I get success in a business, the habit of, you know, sitting at a certain income and then getting comfortable, these are all different paradigms that I had to switch now that I'm reflecting back. So getting comfortable and then eventually that business phasing out. Right, so this is the paradigm that I came to switch and why I'm producing this video. So here's the climax and here's the ultimate part of this video here. I'm making a decision to work on my paradigm, making the decision to stick to one business model, right? Last month we produced about $18,000 a month in Amazon dropshipping, but my ultimate goal is to become an international speaker, right? To speak in front of 35,000 people around the world, you know, in one event. That could be 10XCon, you know, being a speaker at 10XCon, and or starting my own event, right? My goal since I was 19 years old is to become an international speaker. So why should I be doing all these different businesses that don't align with what I want to do with my life, right? So for those of you that don't know, if you don't have me on Instagram, this weekend I went to a Bob Proctor event, right? Bob Proctor, he was in The Secret, the movie. Look him up, guys. He's like a godfather of like Napoleon Hill's work, right? Think and Grow Rich. Guys, you gotta listen to this guy. So I went to his event this weekend in LA and it completely changed my life because I went into this event wondering how could I raise my income in my Amazon business, right? How can I raise my income to $30,000 a month? But as I started learning his material, I started realizing it wasn't the business, it was me that was the problem. If I fix me, everything will come together, right? Everything will come together. And I made the decision right there that I need to work on me. I need to work on me, I need to develop my skills, and I need to have a team behind me that can help me get that going. And what I decided to do at that event was invest with Bob Proctor to become a consultant, right? I'm gonna be working with Bob to develop not only not to learn his material, but also develop it and teach it to others. And my goal to do that is through this YouTube video. So where I'm currently at right now, right? This is my experiment video. Right now, it's the day before my birthday. It is January 29th, 2020. My income I just started. My income in this business is $0. And this is my intention and this is my goal. Right, and I want to put this out there because one day I'm gonna come back to this video and I'm gonna show that this experiment worked. Here's the experiment moving forward with this channel, with my life. Right now, like I said, I'm at $0 in income. My goal is to earn $100,000 a month, which allows me to travel the world full-time in luxury, not in hostels, not a backpacker, but in luxury. That being said, hopefully you guys got a lot of value from this video. Make sure you subscribe below because a lot of content is going to be coming out when it comes to the mind. I'll see you guys next time. Patron is out.